The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Well, I think it worked out. I thought it worked out very well for us to have that open date. It was one thing in a way I was dreading to have, but as far as giving kids a chance to recover, some nagging injuries, those type of things, that really worked out good for us, giving us an opportunity to get ahead in preparation for Wingate. It worked out fine. So it gave our kids a chance to push a little bit there in the middle of the week, have fundamental and technique days to improve there on the base things that we do in football, blocking and tackling, because that's still the name of this game. So I felt like we made improvements, and then yesterday had a great comeback Monday practice, and we were in full pads. So really excited about their preparation so far.
How did you feel the time down for the team's health after a fall camp too?
Well, you know what? We went hard for 3 weeks plus right there, no breaks at all, and then to play a Thursday night game, and then told them they had Friday and Saturday off, the weekend, and that was good for them. And then to come back last week, and it's difficult for kids. It's difficult for coaches to go through camp. You get into the routine of game week, and then boom, now you got an open date. And I wouldn't recommend it for anybody, except when you have some things, that situation we've had with some injuries and rehabbing people and those kind of things to get them back ready to play.
When you think Wingate, at least over the past few years, you have to think about their defensive line and Cardell Rollins and Ontrell Mack. Those guys finally graduate, but they're still top 5 in the country in tackles for loss. What sticks out to you about their
I think their scheme is very, very sound. They play hard. They run to the football. That's not a cliche. They do that well. They're very well coached, as always there. They don't make many mistakes that beat them. You have to beat them. They're not going to beat themselves on defense. They're sound in what they do and how they execute, and that puts it on you that you have to execute. You have to take care of the football. You have to keep drives alive.
Something that probably we're going to talk about a bunch this season, Antonio Winbush and his assault on the record books. 39 rushing yards, and he's the 11th guy in program history with 3,000 for a career. What's he meant to you in this program over the last 5 seasons? Well,
he's been a young man that's grown tremendously, not only in football and academics, has become a leader, the quiet leader of this football team. Wimbo is a great kid, and you want to see great things happen for him. He's a guy that we've mentioned before. He makes other people around him better. That's what you're looking for in football players.
After week 1, what's maybe 1 or 2 areas where you really want to see some improvement going into this weekend?
Well, we had one turnover that was pretty big, Michael, and that's just an execution deal. That's not any more than executing what you got called and executing it properly, not trying to make too much out of it. Definitely we got to make sure we've got the adjustments made on the field goal protection, PAT and field goal protection, because I told our kids for the next 3 weeks they're going to have people trying to block a PAT or a field goal because they got it on video. It'll take you a 3-week span to get that out of you. So we've gone back and approached those areas right there. We've also approached on defense about coverage-wise where you are on the field. Okay, you got your back to the wall right there. You got to tighten it down a little bit more. And that was one thing we had a concern. So we've gone back and spent more time red zone defense, red zone offense, taking care of that, trying to make those corrections. But we want those kids to understand not only did they have a great win, but what it could have been. Okay, what it could have been. You take out a few errors. I was very pleased with the fewer penalties. Okay, and hopefully we can keep making improvement and eliminate some of those. So, if you play a game in football, especially early in the season, you can eliminate penalties, you can take care of the football, you can improve each week execution-wise, and you have a chance to get better.
I think Derek Evans had one of the better games of his career against West Florida. How does he build upon that going into this weekend? Well,
that's the great part about watching the quarterback in an option offense. He can always get better. You can do a better job in reads. You can do a better job in execution there of the offense. No question about that. He sees those things. And as far as his ability to make plays, yes, we want him to make plays and understand that you make plays, but you make sure you give yourself a chance to execute what's called first. That's very, very important. Don't bail out of something too quick, all right? Don't change direction too quick. Make sure you're giving everything a complete sellout of executing that, then go make a play.
He threw the ball to Braxton Westfield 6 times. Granted, that one big touchdown pass got called back. Is 6 targets about where you want to be, more or less? Where
No, we need to be targeting him more. Obviously, he and the other kids are out there. Romaine and those guys, those guys are playmakers, and we've got, I told Adam there last Thursday night we need to be throwing it more, and we will. We're going to. That is part of the plan. We did get in the second half of that game, and especially in the fourth quarter, and want to take care of the clock and use up as much clock as we did, and that part was great because our kids executed and got it down, inside the 10-yard line there. So, yeah, we do. Those guys are playmakers, and the only way they can make plays is, number one, is have the football in their hand.
You bring that up. How do you strike that balance of, you want to throw the ball, but when the situation calls for it, you don't mind to have a half where you only have, 3 possessions?
Right.
How do you...
Well, I think the number one thing you do is you do what you got to do to win the ball game, and I'm so grateful we got kids on this football team that showed last Thursday night how to play a football game and play hard and play together and play unselfishly. I think the number one thing you do is you win the football game. That makes everybody happy. I've watched a lot of games in this country this year already where there wasn't enough footballs to go around for everybody, and then you got problems. But our kids understand that. We want to be more balanced with that part, especially on a first down situation, and put ourselves in a better position.
From a defensive line perspective, obviously you got 2 all-conference guys in Montel and Brian. What do you think about how the rest of the guys kind of stepped up week 1?
Oh, I thought those guys did a very good job of stepping in. And the reason why they were able to step up, Michael, is they got plenty of reps in camp. Okay? We had some defensive linemen and some offensive linemen that may not have got as many reps in a game prior to that, but they sure got plenty of practice time. And they got that practice time in a full speed mode and going wide open, so that was good for us.
Wingate's running backs, Peoples and McNeil, how are they different? How are they similar? Both all-conference caliber guys.
Oh, I think they're both explosive players. They're like most football teams or us. They want to run the football first. They would like to pound on you and hit it in there between the tackles. And they've got size up front to make that happen. They can swallow you up on the zone plays and the power plays if you're not careful. But they want to run the football. The quarterback is back, which means he's a year experienced, and he's much better operating the offense right now. And gosh, those guys they got at receiver, they're big playmakers. So they're a handful to get ready, no question. And they use so many sets, formation sets, and personnel changes in there that keep you on your toes.
You bring up the receivers. B.J. McElvain is as good as it gets in this league. What do you need to do to keep the ball out of his hands?
Well, you just answered it right there, is keep the ball out of his hands and kick in situations. And when they're on offense, do the best you can. You've got to pressure the quarterback to get it out of his hands fast because that young man is a player. He makes things happen, and he's a guy that you better have accounted for in every situation. If he's catching a punt, you better figure out a way for him to go chase it or not kick it out of bounds.